The following is meant for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not meant to establish a doctor-patient relationship. Please consult your mental health provider for your mental health needs. Hello, welcome to Chez Eric, my home where we talk about psychiatry and religion with a focus on how to apply it to your life. And we've been going through the lecture 2 of William James's The Varieties of Religious Experience, and this is the final part. So far, we've gone through quite a bit. Baby steps, but I hope it's been fairly entertaining for you. In the first bit, we talked about how difficult, figuring out a definition of religion would be. And the next bit, we talked about institutional religions and, personal religions, and we got rid of the institutional religions. So we only want to talk about personal forms of religion. And there was a lot of uproar about that. How could this possibly be, But he explains why. And the reason is because we really want to focus on the individuals. We want to focus on the individual expressions, the geniuses, he would just call them. And came up with this definition, right? Very individual stuff. And then we want to talk about the divine, right? What does it mean to be divine? What does it mean to interact with the divine? And we kind of isolate the fact that, sometimes a religious experience can just be about, we've talked Emersonianism and Buddhism. It's not exactly a specific actor. It's something more, a general thing about the universe. And then we talked about what is God like? What does it mean to be divine? And he specifically is that it's a total reaction on life, meaning that it encompasses everything about life. But we don't want it to be too broad, so we kind of circumscribe to say it's a total reaction upon life that we're very serious about, that we understand we want to be very authentic with it, that we understand to be very serious, very real, very solemn, and that is what we are going about. That's what religious experiences are. And this time around, we're going to be talking about an additional quality of what he's calling religious, and thus the religious experience and what we're going to be getting into in the rest of the lectures. He kind of talks about, the ways that people can go about pursuing religious things, and he separates two different types. There are the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, that are very solemn and they're very serious, and they don't want to be too happy or too sad. They don't want to have a very even-keeled emotional output. It's kind of like those monks, those silent monks who just pray, and no one could ever laugh or do anything that made too much of a noise, and they kind of are very solemn, very serious, and that's how they pursue religiosity. And this is in contrast to the emotional types of expressions of religiosity where the people are singing and dancing and praying, kind of like a Hillsong. I think if you're familiar with that, Hillsong has a lot of albums and singing and praising and lots of worship, and people are jumping up and down, and that would be another way to do it. Although William James says that both of these people are actually, they are doing a religious thing. They are experiencing religion. The things that they're doing is religious, but they're very, very different. But they're actually one and the same. What makes them similar? What's their binding sort of quality? He compares it to a philosophical discussion, right? A philosophical discussion has a lot of the qualities of when we talk about religious things, such as what should one do? Is killing bad? Is lying bad? What should you do with someone who betrays you? These philosophical discussions, they kind of exist. However, the attitude that one has in a philosophical sense is different, he says, from the attitude that one has in a religious sense. He kind of focuses on this idea that the religious sense is more positive, and there's a positive thing. For example, if you have happiness, it could be good, but if you have religious happiness, that's even better. If you have sadness, that's bad, but if it's religious sadness, then it is mitigated in some way. If you are angry in some sense, then you add religious anger, it becomes righteous, and it's something is added to it. There's a motivation, a fundamental motivation that allows one to sacrifice themselves for the greater good in a religious context, that you don't necessarily get that in a mere philosophical context. And that's what he's saying is added in this religious thing, that something is added, this special thing is added, where your attitude towards life is very different, whether you're Marcus Aurelius or, Theologia Germanica, the emotional aspects of things. And that is what what he says we're trying to encapsulate. Very, very different from, again, a mere philosophical discussion. And that is what he's trying to explore with the understanding of our definition of religion, which is, again, paper cut. Okay. The feelings, acts, and experiences, individual persons in their solitude, so far as they apprehend themselves to stand in relation to whatever they may consider the divine. Right? That's what it is. I really got a paper cut. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Do like and subscribe. Let me know your comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Guess what? I just finished the first edits of my book, and now I'm going to send it over to actual professional editors, and after that's done, and I'll have to do other steps, and then I'll finally publish it soon. So, yeah, just updating you. It's a work in progress. I will keep you updated. Thanks for staying tuned.